here today, and I'm going to be talking about and reviewing Kimberbell's new Deluxe Embroidery Scissors and Tools Kit. I got this a little bit earlier this month, and I just haven't had time to walk through and review it, but I'm going to start by just taking a look at the case here. It measures about 8 1/4 by 6 1/4. So really a nice size little kit that you can travel with, without really having to think about it too hard. It should fit in most of the bags that you would maybe take to retreat or a small project bag with no problem. Or even if you're not going to be traveling with it, just kind of storing it somewhere should be pretty easy. So it comes in a shrink wrap, which, as you'll notice, I used my utility scissors and not any of my fabric scissors to cut the plastic. Um, and it's just that one piece. There's no tape on the tin, which I really like. It's got a hinged back, and I found this little sheet of paper on the back that walks you through all four of the items inside of your kit. So it calls out what each item is and what its potential use would be. So I'm actually going to leave that there the entire time so that I can kind of refer to it as I'm walking through this. So it's a nice, sturdy tin here, and has a nice look and feel to it. And like I said, I'm glad they didn't put tape anywhere, so you don't have that little, you know, kind of sort of gummy, sticky residue left behind. So that's pretty nice. So when you open it up, you've got your four tools in front of you with a nice foam cutout for everything, and I'm going to go from left to right. We've got the duckbill and applique scissors first, then we've got the precision fine tip tweezers with a blade, the 4-inch micro tips, and then the sharp snips there on the end. So the duckbill applique has finger loops you can just grab onto, and they have a nice feel to them, not too heavy, but just some weight. And there's a Kimberbell detail right there on the duckbill part of the blade. So all of these have that, a Kimberbell detail, and I'll show them as we go through. And these are, really sharp. And so I had some fabric, I've been doing Christmas projects, that, I just wanted to show cutting through. They're really nice, really sharp, no snags there, really even cut, very, very easy to use, and a nice size. And they're a little bit smaller than another pair of gingers that I have, and I'm going to grab those right here just to kind of compare the two for you so you can see the difference. I mean, there's not a ton of difference in the cutting edge, but the overall size is a little bit different here. So the Kimberbells measure in right at 5 inches. It says 6 inches on the packaging, but they're 5 inches long and about 2 1/4 wide. So still a nice size, but they are a little bit shorter than my regular gingers, which are 2 inches wide, and as you can see here, they are about 6 inches long. The cutting edge on the gingers is around 1 3/4 of an inch, and I'm measuring that from where the two blades meet. And the cutting edge on the Kimberbell is right around 1 1/2, like maybe just a little shy, 1 3/8. Um, Still nice and probably really good to get into those tight corners, and a little bit easier than my larger pair would be. So now moving on to the precision fine tip tweezers with a blade. These are pretty sharp, so um, they've got like a little plastic on the end, and as you can see right there, there's the Kimberbell detail again. So be careful with these. And they do have a blade on them, and it says on the packaging they're good for basting stitches. So you kind of just take that fine tip and just go all the way through, and when it gets to the top, it'll cut that thread and kind of release it for you. So you wouldn't really have to go in with a seam ripper. These are a little bit more precise, and they're still going to cut that thread without being too sharp where you're afraid you're going to cut yourself. So that's what I'm showing right there. Like they're, good enough to do the job for thread, but they're not going to cut your fingers. And again, there are blades on each side of that. So again, really, really nice. And before I get into the next one, I am grabbing that, but I am going to actually show the measurements on the precision fine tip here instead, because I realized I didn't do it. So they come in at about maybe, I think, 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch in width, and they're about 3 3/4 of an inch long. So again, really nice size, but small. You could take these out of their tin and then definitely put them in a small tool bag to take with you. Now we're moving on to the 4-inch micro tips, and again, they're very sharp, so I just took the plastic off of them, and there's the Kimberbell branding right there on the top of the blade. Hopefully you can see it. I know I've got a little bit of a glare here. I apologize, I think it's just my overhead light. So for these, we've got about 2 1/4 on the width and a little bit over 4 inches, just call it like 4 1/4 or maybe 4 1/8 on the length. Again, really nice size, the ends of these, your cutting edge is going to be right about 1 1/4 of an inch. So you have a little bit of room to really get in and do like a decent cut, even if it's like a tight corner. So you get a pretty nice length on your cut there. And again, I'm just showing cutting through some fabric. Really nice sharp cut, very easy, no jagged edges. Um, just a really nice feel to them, honestly. And I don't have any scissors that are exactly like this, so it's a really nice tool to have. So I'm putting my plastic back on there, and then now we're moving on to the sharp snips. I think these are really handy to have, and I like the way that they were designed. So I'm going to show right here the Kimberbell detail is on one side of the snips, and they're very sharp, so taking the cover off, and these are right around an inch wide and almost 5 inches, call it 4 3/4 long. Again, really nice size to fit into a small tool bag. And I like that they're going to help with any hand fatigue because they're already set up with a mechanical spring action. So you're just kind of pressing rather than doing that open close, open close. Again, very sharp, very easy to work with. They just cut right through that fabric. Just a really nice, I think, addition to add to my embroidery tools. I think this would be good for any of the applique that you have that maybe has a center circle. So if you're like doing an O or a 0, this would be nice to be able to kind of get in there and kind of get yourself started before you can get a bigger pair of scissors in there to make a really clean cut for that. So again, I'm putting the plastic back on, and then the way these are packaged, the 2 scissors on the first and third pair have the finger loops, but the other 2 sort of tweezer sets, they've got a little lead in for you to kind of reach in there and grab them. So it's really nice, like how they're nested in there, very securely packed. I would think that you'd feel, really comfortable taking them anywhere. It's just a really nice set of tools to have, and I like that they're, all cute Kimberbell tools. Again, I feel like they look really nice. Definitely like a really nice thing to pick up for yourself or certainly for someone else. Again, right there it says Kimberbell, experience the joy of creativity. Just a really fun set to have. I'm very excited about them. I've got a bunch of embroidery that I plan on doing. I think that this kit will get a lot of use from me and probably travel with me quite a bit. I'm going to hang on to this paper here. It's a nice breakdown and description of all of the tools inside of here. I was checking here to see if there was anywhere I could kind of tuck it in there without it getting in the way. There's really not. But I'm going to really probably just put it in my project bag to keep it with me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that, these tools work out for you. Thanks so much for joining me today. And I'm going to get started on some projects. And I will talk to you guys soon. Happy crafting!